Title: Mountain Wisdom, A Monk's Tale of True Dignity by Wisdom Chronicles. In the shadow of the majestic Himalayas, nestled among the clouds, lay a monastery that had stood for centuries, a beacon of peace and wisdom. The scent of incense drifted through its ancient stone corridors, mingling with the harmonious chants of monks in meditation. It was here, in this serene setting, where the story of Tenzin unfolded, a tale imbued with the essence of dignity. Tenzin was a young novice monk, his heart full of zeal and his mind brimming with questions. He had left his village at the foothills of the mountains to seek enlightenment and to understand the deeper truths of life. The monastery, with its air of mystique and tradition, seemed the perfect place to quench his thirst for knowledge. The head monk of the monastery, Lama Dorje, was a revered figure, known far and wide for his wisdom and compassion. He noticed the eagerness in Tenzin's eyes and decided to take him under his wing. Tenzin was overjoyed. He felt as if he had been given a key to a treasure trove of spiritual wealth. One day, Lama Dorje set Tenzin a task. "Go to the village at the base of the mountain," he instructed, "and observe the lives of the people there. Do not speak, only watch, and return in a week with your observations." Tenzin obeyed, descending the mountain to the village. He spent the week observing the villagers, their joys, their sorrows, their daily struggles and triumphs. He noticed a particular incident where a wealthy merchant publicly humiliated a poor farmer who couldn't repay his debt. The farmer, despite his dire situation, maintained a quiet dignity, neither retaliating in anger nor breaking down in tears. When Tenzin returned, Lama Dorje asked him what he had learned. Tenzin recounted the incident of the merchant and the farmer. The farmer, despite his poverty, held on to his dignity, Tenzin reflected. He did not allow his spirit to be crushed by his circumstances. Lama Dorje nodded, a faint smile on his lips. "True dignity," he said, "is like the mountain we reside upon. It stands tall, not because it seeks to overshadow others, but because it is grounded in its own being. It remains unshaken, whether storms rage against it or the sun shines upon it." Tenzin pondered these words deeply. He understood that dignity was not about external wealth or power. It was an inner quality, a state of grace and self-respect that remained constant regardless of external circumstances. Lama Dorje, seeing Tenzin's thoughtful expression, decided to deepen the lesson. "Tomorrow," he said, "you will go to the market in the village and beg for alms, as is our tradition. But there is one condition. You must wear a torn robe and not reveal your identity as a monk from this monastery." Tenzin was taken aback. He had always taken pride in his monk's robe, which symbolized his spiritual path. Reluctantly he agreed, trusting Lama Dorje's wisdom. The next day, Tenzin, dressed in tattered clothes, went to the village market. As he begged for alms, he felt the sting of humiliation. People who once greeted him with respect now looked upon him with disdain or pity. The experience was deeply humbling. But Tenzin remembered the farmer's quiet dignity and tried to emulate it. When he returned, Lama Dorje asked him about his experience. Tenzin shared how difficult it had been to face scorn, and how it had helped him realize that dignity was not tied to external appearances or social status. Lama Dorje smiled, pleased with Tenzin's understanding. "Dignity," he said, "is like the lotus flower, which blooms pristine and beautiful, even in muddy waters. It does not depend on the cleanliness of the water, but on its own innate nature." Years passed, and Tenzin grew in wisdom and compassion, often reflecting on the lessons of dignity he had learned. He understood that true dignity lay in being grounded in one's own virtues, in maintaining inner peace and self-respect, irrespective of how the world treated you. The moral of the story is this: dignity is an unshakable quality that resides within us. It is not granted by wealth, status, or the approval of others, but is a reflection of our inner strength and self-respect. Like the mountain that stands tall through storms and sunshine, like the lotus that blooms in muddy waters, true dignity is about maintaining our grace and poise, even in the face of adversity and challenge. It is a reminder that our worth is not determined by external circumstances, but by our own inner values and strength of character.